Hi, welcome to NewStars Immigration International channel. Today's video will provide you a comprehensive understanding of the Australia business visas. NewStars has over 15 years experience in the immigration industry. NewStars is made up of a team of more than 20 migration agents and immigration lawyers who all share the same passion and knowledge for helping people like you to migrate to Australia. I'm Jack, who is a registered migration agent and also a lawyer admitted in the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Let's start with the Business Innovation and Investment Visa, Subclass 188. Today, I will only introduce Subclass 188A, which is Innovation and Business Stream. To be eligible to apply for the 188 visa, you must satisfy both the Immigration Department requirement and the state nomination requirement. The basic DHA requirements are 1. Under 55 years old. 2. Overall successful business. I want to draw attention that this is a subjective requirement and the case officer will consider your overall business history. Negative elements may include bankruptcy, insolvency, or great profit loss. 3. At the time of invitation to apply for this visa, you and your partner, spouse combined have equivalent 80,000 Australian dollars net assets. The net asset may include cash, real property, shares, golden, etc. Your net assets must be calculated by deducting any liabilities, for example, loans, debts, or mortgages. Let's move to 4. For 2 out of 4 physical years immediately before you receive an invitation to apply for this visa, you must have had an ownership interest in 1 or 2 businesses that have at least 500,000 turnover in each of those 2 years. Whether you have 1 or 2 businesses, you must own at least 51% of the total value of the business if the business has a turnover of less than 400,000 per year. 30% of the total value of the business if the business has a turnover of 400,000 or more per year. 10% of the total value of the business if the business is operated by a publicly listed company. 5. You have obtained state nomination. And 6. Achieve at least 65 points in the business points test. The business visa points test is very complicated compared with the skilled visa points test. So I will not explain all the details about the business points test in this video because it will take like several hours. If you have concerns about whether you are eligible to claim certain points, please book a formal consultation with us. And finally, the element is that you must pass the health and character test. Alright, now let's move on each state's nomination requirement. 1. New South Wales. For nomination in the Great Sydney area, there is an additional requirement. For 2 out of 4 physical years immediately before you receive an invitation to apply for this visa, you must have had an ownership interest in 1 or 2 businesses that had at least 1 million turnover in each of those years. And you can see that in the DHA requirement, it's only 500,000. Another additional requirement is that the personal and the business net assets must achieve at least 1.3 million. Not just 800,000, which is required by the DHA. 3. Commitment to invest at least 500,000 Australian dollars to the business which you intend to establish in the Great Sydney. The investment must only on real estate, equipment, inventory, and goodwill. It can be seen that the Great Sydney business nomination requirement is much higher than the DHA requirement. I think that's because Sydney is a very competitive marketing city. For a regional area in New South Wales, the state nomination requirement is the same as the DHA, but the investment requirement on intended business is at least 300,000 Australian dollars. Okay, let's move to Victoria Business State Nomination, which I think is the strictest requirement compared with all other states and territories. First, there is a mandatory English requirement. The primary applicant must have vocational English, which is 5 score in each band of the IELTS test or PT TOEFL equivalent. Second, the primary applicant has a bachelor or higher degree majored in engineering, mathematics, medical industry, etc. Alternatively, the primary applicant needs to have an MBA qualification. Third, the primary applicant needs to demonstrate that the intended business will have significant contribution to the Victoria economy. Number 4, commitment to employ at least 2 full-time employees. Considering that there is no mandatory English requirement and qualification requirement in the DHA, Victoria is so picky for its business applicants compared with other states. Alright, the next state is Queensland. It is much easier to get invitation by the Queensland state. The investment requirement is only $200,000, but they just exclude some entry-level businesses like cafe, restaurant, or small convenience shops. Okay, the final state is South Australia. The state nomination requirement is as the very same as the DHA ones, no additional requirement. But you just need to book an interview with the state officer to discuss your business plan at first. Okay, that is almost the brief summary of the 188 visa. And I want to draw attention that business visa is very complicated. If you want to do a detailed consultation, please make an appointment with us. That is all for today's video. Please make sure to be safe there. And if you like our video, please subscribe and hit the bell. Bye-bye.